Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fire Mountain Gems and Beads Jewelry Making Studio. In that transition area, not quite Halloween and not quite Christmas, we will bring out our Christmas spiders. Yes, we're going to talk Christmas spiders. You'll find all the materials in the link below. I'm going to show you how to make it.
Get our email newsletter for beading news, sale announcements, new product announcements, and more. Link is in the description below.
Do you know the story of the Christmas spider? I will tell you the story. Once upon a time, many years ago in Germany, there was a poor housewife who was getting ready for the Christmas season, and she was sweeping and mopping and scrubbing and getting all the dust out of the corners, so much so that she even banished the house spiders to the attic. The attic was where the spiders were hanging out, and she got ready for her Christmas season. She made the house spick and span and clean and put up a beautiful Christmas tree. Oh, it's gorgeous. Then she and her children went to bed to get ready for Santa for the morning. Well, in the meantime, up in the attic, the spiders were a little bit miffed and curious. What the heck is going on here? Why are we up in the attic? So they crept out of the attic in the middle of the night to see what was going on. They went down to the living room and they saw the glorious Christmas tree. Wow. A spider had never seen a thing like that before. But they're just little tiny creatures, so they crawled into the tree so that they could see every single bauble and every sparkle and every jewel that the lady had put out on the tree. And as they crawled over the tree to look at all the pretty things, they left behind their gray spider webs. By morning, the entire tree was covered with gray spider webs. The spiders scurried back up to the attic, and Santa came. Santa saw the tree covered with the gray spider webs and knew the lady was going to be heartbroken that her tree was covered with these cobwebs. So he reached out a magical finger, ding, and turned all the spider webs to gold and silver tinsel. And that is the legend of why we put tinsel on our tree today. And it's also very good luck to have a Christmas spider in your tree. So I'm going to show you how to make a Christmas spider. Here's my little spider today. You could make these out of anything you like. I like to have some sort of large bead for the body and a sort of largish bead for the head and then wire for the legs and the body. I like to use the acrylic beads because they're very light, makes for good ornaments. Or if you want to make them smaller, you could even make them into earrings. So let's start this off. I'm going to start off with some 18 gauge wire. I use about, 5-6 inches of it. Just whack off a chunk of that wire. There we go. And on one end of this is where the nose or tail or something is going to be. So I'm going to make a wrapped loop on this end. So I've grabbed my chain nose pliers, make a little 90-degree bend, grabbing some round nose pliers, put the round nose tip right there, and just bend that round nose back. Then I'm going to reposition my pliers to put the lower jaw down there into that loop that you can see. See the loop? See if I can keep that centered. And then I'm going to finish the wrap. So this is the tail that I was working on. I'm going to push that some more so that it goes all around the jaw of my plier. I think you can see that. And then I'm going to switch hands. And I'm going to grab my chain nose pliers again. And I'm going to use those to wrap this tail around. And that is the basis of a wrap loop. And we've got lots more instructions on that if you didn't pick up on it. And you can wrap as many times as you want. I did 2 little wraps. And then I'm going to use my nippers and get rid of that little bit of excess wire. Bye-bye. And you can decide, do you want your spider to hang from his rear end or you want to hang from his nose? I like mine to hang from their rear end because that's the way they spin. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a large body bead. Body bead. Ta-da! So there's my body. Now I want to put on the legs. So I have to make the legs. I've got here 4 little pieces of wire. This is 22 gauge wire, and I've got about 7 inches of the wire here. And I'm using 4 of them because remember that spiders have 8 legs. Yes, I used to be a biology teacher. So yes, it is important to know that spiders have 8 legs. I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I'm going to grip this in the middle. And I actually even brought out my ruler to make sure I get it somewhat close to the middle. This is a 6-inch ruler. That's about good right there. So I'm gripping all 4 wires right there. And I'm going to wrap them up and around the nose of my round nose pliers. That's not very much in the middle, but it'll work out in the end. There we go. So I've made a loop. Wait, that one didn't go all the way around. There we go. That one goes around too. So all 4 of them are now facing off on opposite directions. So there's my loop that I am going to put over my spider body. Get that out of the way. See the loop, see the spider body right over the top. And then I'll put on the head. This is another acrylic bead we have too. I like that one too. So there's my spider body. There's my legs. On the nose, we can do anything we like. I personally am rather fond of that cootie game we used to play when we were kids where you build the bug. So I'm going to make a cootie style nose. So I'm going to cut off some of this because that's a little bit more nose than I need. Let's give it a little more than an inch. And then I'm going to make this into a spiral by gripping the very tail of it. Oop, got to put on my good glasses now. There we go. Gripping the very, very tail of it and giving it a little bend to start my spiral. Come on. Don't let go of me. Oh, these are not my regular pliers. That's the problem. That's all right. I'll make it work. So I've got a little tiny bend. And now that I've got that little tiny bend, I can start to roll it. I'm going to grip it with the chain nose pliers. There's my little hook type thing. And start to roll this in a spiral. So you can roll it in, you can move the wire. It's mostly about moving the wire, not so much about bending everything. It's getting the wire to rotate around. See how I'm making a little cootie spiral there? And I'll get that all the way up to his face so that my legs and my body and my head are all held in place by the cootie spiral nose, tongue, whatever that is. There we go. Let's see. Let's get my legs back around the way I want them. So they're all coming off the top. So there we have, basically, we have the spider. Now we got to work on those legs. They're a little bit on the spindly side. For the legs, I like to use these bugle beads and also some large seed beads. So these are bugle beads and size 8 seed beads. By the way, this is a great project for kids because now your goal is to string all of these little legs. And actually, it takes a little bit of time to get all those beads onto those little legs. And you can make them any color you want. You can make Christmas colors. You can make spider colors. You can make fantasy neon colors, whatever you want. So we put all these little leg things on here. I used, I think I used 8 of each bead to make my legs. And I don't think you want to watch me string all of these legs. So look, I've done them already. Ta-da! With my legs already strung up for you, so you don't have to watch all that leg string, and you can get your kids to help you do that. Okay, so here's my spider, but he's not quite finished. He needs some feet. So I've still got quite a bit of wire sticking off of here. So I'm going to cut off most of that wire. Then I'm going to use my round nose pliers to make a sort of a little loop. That will be his foot. He's got a loopy foot. And I do that with every single one of these. Making little loopy foots. And then's the fun part. Once you've got all the loopy foots all in place, all you have to do is bend your legs up to make him look very spidery. However you want your spiders to look. Ooh, very spidery. Spidery. And then, because you've made a bunch of these little spiders, and they're everywhere, you can have spider wars. I hope you get a chance to make lots and lots of little Christmas spiders to bring you lots and lots of luck on your Christmas tree. You'll find all the materials in the link below on these spiders. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a Merry Christmas and happy beading.